Hello again. My lives come from these inspirations that push me to share, not always having a solution for people, but today just having to share feelings. Hey, Candace, thank you. We're all emerging through this huge metamorphosis that we're all going on right now. We're getting pushed and changed and new boundaries coming in, etc. And one of the hardest, scariest things for me, because I've grown out of self-worth issues, grown out of self-esteem issues from my past, always kind of beat up and banged around, and I've always believed in manifestation and that we are creating, but there was such a minefield of stuff underneath my awareness, in my beliefs, in past relationships, in past jobs, in past things around money and abundance, marriage, blah, 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 blah. There's a ton of them. And I've always had this really clear view of things that I wanted, but I don't know, about 5-8 years ago, everything just got smashed. It was just like my dreams weren't possible and I had to give them up, and I had to kind of go into a little cage or cocoon or whatever, because every time I'd reach out and try, or I'd try and create, or I'd try and make something, I get a mangled up version of it, like really distorted sometimes, like reach out for a relationship and get somebody that's like hurting me and abusing me. And I know there was reasons for all that kind of stuff, but it created like traumas in me, and I'm rising above the traumas. And I've always believed in manifestation and conscious creation and other things, but there got to be a point about 2 or 3 years ago where I just stopped. I nothing was coming in that was good. It was just massive amounts of lessons and craziness that didn't even look like what I was starting for. So I know this is probably happening to a lot of different people, where the dark control or whatever's going on in the world smashed things so badly that we had nothing left. We had to give up everything that we wanted. It was all about them, and it was a big mess. And now we're gently being nudged back from that. And I'm not sure if it's safe to stick your head out yet in some regards. But there's this deep down number of times that I've been so disappointed when I tried and I truly believed in my heart. One of them was when I ended up losing my house last year. All my guidance, everything inside of me told me this was going to work out beautifully. And there was month-long periods where I was just manifesting a new house and a place to move to with my kids and all this kind of stuff. And then it was like I was thrown out in the trash. It felt like at that moment, all of a sudden one day, it was just like, you got to move. And oh, that's hurt me so badly. And it stung my kids and all this kind of stuff. But that was the last major time where I tried to create something big. And yes, I got some lessons that tore me away from attachment to homes and belongings and things. And I'm now feeling at this point again where I'm finally at the point where I can start asking for things again, and really nondescript things that I'm not too terribly worried about are showing up, showing some level of conscious creation. But some of the really key stuff, like finding someone to share my time with as a partner, or creating abundance, creating and figuring out what my path is forward. It's almost like all of that stuff has been placed on hold. And yes, it's lined up and it's ready and it'll be there, but when do we start to ask? When do we start to trust that what we really want, and the key things that we really want, like stuff that's close to our heart, people that we're welcoming into our heart, friendships, relationships with people, sexuality, jobs or abundance, or some kind of community. I just see there's like a stir stick in it, and they're just messing with it still a little bit. I don't know if other people are seeing it. The connections of community that I do see happening are good, but there's little elements of darkness still in them, and it's really confusing who to trust, and whether or not we can step forward and start following a path right now. So I only say this not to discourage people, but maybe they're feeling the same things. Maybe they're a little uncertain, a little bit scared how this is happening, and why it's happening, and when it's going to be done, and looking for some clues. And it's such a hard task to trust again when you've been disappointed so many times, and looking at God, looking at source, looking at universe, and trying to see that there's some massive, beautiful thing underneath it all. And there is, but the craziness that people are going to, the way they're tearing down people, they're hurting others, I just boggles my mind to see people in that level of disarray, and then trying to stand in love and say it's all love and all that kind of stuff feels like insanity to me. To accept that it's happening and accept that it's real and all this kind of stuff, but to see it as love has been a really hard task for me. And some people would say, well, that's my problem or my mistake. But I'm starting to see more and more that being a realist a little bit about what's going on and expecting better, and accepting that maybe that can't change yet, but setting a new standard, a new guideline, a new bench level for how things need to improve. A funny one, I was at a movie. I went to the new Jurassic Park movie last night, and people brought their infants to the theater. And when the screaming dinosaurs were going on, these kids were screaming, and kids were talking. And we just got to a new low of respect in a community or group situation. I just saw it, and I could have stood up and yelled and made a big deal out of it and all this kind of stuff. But inside I said, no, this isn't acceptable. All these people paid all this money to come and enjoy a theater outing, and one person in a theater of 200 people that has a crying child, it's not sane. That's not respectable, that one person's lack of respect for everyone else is going to damage the experience for all these other people that paid a lot of money for a movie. So a realist right now is a person that sees what's there, says inside what it should be, and starts to create from that. So that's my first levels of conscious creation right now. Some people say, oh, I'm in struggle and I can't do that, and I'm just supposed to sit and accept everything that's going on. And I don't consciously resist, but I just say, holy fuck, I deserve better, the world deserves better, etc. And it sets a wave of something new. And when people just keep ignoring it and go in their hole and go in their cocoon and hide without stepping out a little bit, I'm not sure they're setting a new example. So I'm just suggesting that start in your energy saying, hey, this isn't good, this isn't respectful, this isn't whatever, and send that out into the energy. And if you have a chance to talk to somebody, you state that. You set a new standard, you set a new level of how people should be accountable. And as that forms around you, we're creating a new universe. How quickly that happens, I don't know. This is all brand new territory for all of us. So it's scary as hell sometimes. I had a whole group of people try and tell me that I was out of bounds for feeling disrespected when I was told to love and light shit away, when I was being real. And it's not a time of love and lighting it away unless you're hurting or it's harming. Or once you transcend to a point where you want to consciously create a new universe, you can't just accept what is without creating a new direction for what can be. Yes, That's all I can expect right now. But in any community I'm going to create, that respect will be there. Those people will align. They will know what other people think, and you can be direct and communicate. It's a bit scary to step out and start to create something that's different, to stop accepting just what's out there as okay and acceptable when it's been torn out of our belief that we can consciously create better. So some might call that resistance, some might call that struggle, that I'm not feeling safe or other things, but it's not that. It's wanting better, changing reality, consciously creating and trusting that that's needed. Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining. So, just a suggestion. Not everybody's going to agree, but we're all dipping our toe out in the water and trying to find new reality and create new. Well, how do we do that? What can we expect? What's new? What's possible? And if people aren't consciously trying, if they're just huddling or pretending it's not happening or just coping, how do we ever get better? I'm a different kind of person and doing it a different way, and it's contrary to some of the people's way, but I'm not seeing a lot of change with their way, so I'm trying a new way. So I'm going to always speak about what I want and what the world needs and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not going to just sit all fluffy and say, hey, everybody's got their choice or whatever. No, if we don't combine together as community and build a new collective and everybody's just going their own way and it's bypassing and discomfort, we're not winning. We're stalled. Are you making a conscious choice in your day? Are you making a conscious choice of how you could see situations improve? Just put them in your head, state them out to the universe and say, hey, that was kind of messy. I'd really like to see this improve. And see what happens. That's how simple it is. I'm trying it. It's a bit scary. It's new. It's uncomfortable. Join me. Be uncomfortable a little bit. Ask for better. Speak openly to people that maybe are disrespecting people or whatever, and just say, hey, what's going on with you? Why are you doing that? Why are you hurting that car or hurting somebody or trying to abuse them or whatever? And just consciously say, hey, are you respecting that person? What's wrong with you? And sometimes it's uttered under the breath. It's not even shared consciously, but it's with their higher self, with their soul, and they'll know. They just lost their way. So anyways, just a suggestion. Today's been a crazy hard day, a lot of emotion, a lot of not really knowing what I want anymore, just like everything is flat. So I hope things are better for you, and maybe some of this reflection helps you see what you're going through. Might be the same or it might be different, but by looking at it, we start to make a choice. And that's where we're going, is the new path. Sorry, there's sirens going by. Let's make a choice. Let's make a choice for a new world. Let's make a choice for better. Let's make a choice for understanding that things are happening the way they are, but we want better. We want freedom. We want love. We want relationship. We want freedom. State it each and every day. And that little construct, that little seed that you plant into the manure we're seeing right now can make all the difference to a new reality. So start planting the seeds. Start planting the seeds of conscious love. What would you like to see better? How would you like the world to... And when you see something you don't like, state what you want instead. And instead of just letting it pass, complying, head down, butt up kind of thing. No. Start stating what we need, what we want, and what we deserve. And then the magic happens. It's really small little things at the start. And then your faith and your trust grows and grows and grows until someday, very soon, you're manifesting magic and miracles all around you. Because now you trust. And now you know that every word creates and every possibility creates. And when we're feeling tired and scared and all this kind of stuff, create something that's better in your head right in there. So I love you all. I hope this helps, and put some comments in the bottom with whatever you're going through, and we can talk about it. We can discover more about ourselves by sharing. So I love you all. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. What are you creating? Plant a couple right now, please. I want a better world.